Hello to all of you. I'm hoping all is fine with everyone. Greetings to all, and we appreciate your attendance today. So let's kickstart our session with this quote. Data analytics turns information into insight and insight into impact. A very good evening to all the guests and our guest speaker. In this capacity as your host for the worldwide webinar on data analytics, I, Satpreet, would like to take this opportunity to extend a hearty greeting to everyone. It is a huge honor for us to have among us Mr. Emmanuel Adu, whose involvement on the topic of data analytics adds so much value to. The power of data analytics lies in its ability to transform vast amounts of raw data into actionable insights. By uncovering hidden patterns, trends, and relationships, data analytics empowers organizations to predict outcomes, personalize customer experiences, reduce risks, and stay competitive in an increasingly data driven world. Before I proceed further, let me take a brief moment for the introduction of my organization. SEMS Welfare Foundation is a registered non-profit organization and is dedicated to social impact across various sectors. We focus on education, particularly skill development and entrepreneurship. Through our initiative, DigiSaksham, we have created training programs in IT, finance, retail, and entrepreneurship impacting over 6,000 individuals. We are currently upskilling inmates in Haryana jails and collaborating with universities and colleges. We've also partnered with banks to place over 1,500 candidates in jobs. STEM Leads, another SEMS initiative, empowers women through workshops and stories of successful female entrepreneurs. We conduct programs on digital literacy, marketing, and career development, reaching over 1,000 women across multiple states. This initiative recently reached a milestone of 100 women actively involved. In just a short time, SEMS has established itself as a force for positive change, equipping individuals with skills for employment and promoting women's leadership in various industries. Now, let me take this wonderful occasion to publicly present and welcome Mr. Emmanuel Adu, the keynote speaker for today's international webinar. Driven by a passion for IT and a thirst for knowledge in the IT industry, Mr. Emmanuel has pursued studies in computer systems and computer network management in Ghana. Currently, he is pursuing a degree in big data analytics at Lovely Professional University in India. He has worked as an IT technician at Koransa Technical Institute and completed his national service with the Ghana Armed Forces, where he gained experience in networking, Microsoft Office, router and switch configurations, basic printer repairs, and advanced computer hardware repairs. To further enhance his technical skills, he has taken courses in web development, data science, and data structures and algorithms that have been instrumental in his development. He has applied his knowledge to develop websites and utilize Python libraries such as Pandas, NumPy, Jupyter, Seaborn, Matplotlib, as well as technologies like Django, CSS, HTML, JavaScript, and React to create web applications and design graphical data representation. I, Satpreet, on behalf of the Sense Welfare Foundation, would like to give my heartiest welcome to you, sir, with a huge round of applause for joining us today. Your presence has added to the significance of this event greatly, and we are genuinely honored to have you here.
Right. Thank you very much, ma'am. I'm very grateful for your introduction. I really love it. A very good evening to everyone who has taken a bit of their time to stay out of their busy schedules to join this meeting. My very own friend, Joseph Dow, currently who is resided in Canada. Thank you very much for joining this seminar, Joseph. Let me proceed. I'd like to take this course or this topic, data analysis, and then the overview of it, tools, technique, and applications in data analysis. I go by the name Emmanuel Adu, as Mem mentioned earlier. I'm data scientist, analysis, web developer, and software engineer. I completed my basic education in Ghana, but I'm currently in India studying big data analysis at Lovely Professional University. So let's go down to data analysis. If you say data analysis, what is data analysis? Data analysis basically means transforming, examining, and organizing raw data to uncover useful insight, pattern, trend, and correlation that inform decision making. So the main purpose of data analysis is to extract useful information from data. Facebook, all the other social medias, they generate a lot of data. I can say about 1 trillion data every day. So for us to get insight, for us to make good use of those data they generate, we need data analysis. So this comes to the point. What is the difference between data analysis and data analytics? They sound confusing, right? Yes, if they sound confusing, you are very right. Data analysis and data analysis, they are not far from each other. Data analysis means past, like what Facebook generates every day. They generate a lot of data for us. So we take that data Facebook generates, Flipkart generates, Amazon generates, to build upon it, to get insight of that data, to make decisions based on the previous data which was being generated. So that data analysis has two forms, which is the quantitative and the qualitative. The quantitative basically means how and why. How did this happen? How and why? Why did this happen at this particular time? Why do we need this? And then the quantitative basically means the data, how sales decrease in certain months or how sales increase in certain months. Let's say in summer, why did winter clothes decrease? Because the weather is hot, so no one needs winter clothes. If you go to winter, because the weather is cool, we need winter clothes. And if you go to analytics means future. So taking the data which will be generated in future. So based on that, we have to make informed decisions, or we have to make decisions on the upcoming winter or summer to know what we have to do. So taking intuition and analyze those data, which can basically be referred to data analysis. And then there is another one called quantitative. The quantitative means using the formula which we have. And then based on that formula, we generate algorithm to make insight decisions. So let's go for it and then look the aspect of data analysis. One, before you can perform very good data analysis, you need to collect the data. You need to take data from Facebook, you need to take data from our phones, Amazon, Instagram, and then we have to collect all the data. Sometimes it can be survey, questionnaire to get data. And then after taking this data, what do? We have to clean the data. We have to remove all the noise. We have to make the data clean. Just like what you see, you have to filter the data to take the chaff out of the correct ones. And then after cleaning the data, we have to process it. After processing, what do? We have to analyze and interpret the data. So after we have processed it, we need to analyze the data. How? We have to build decision upon those data we have. And then after that, we need to visualize the data. We can use Excel to do that. So we have to present our data in a very nice form to make it visualized. And then after doing this, we need to know the purpose of data analysis. What is the purpose? To make insight decisions. So you are thinking about, oh, now I have the data. I have cleaned it. I have processed it. I have visualized. What do I need to do with the data? It becomes a very big question. After we make the decision, what do we want to achieve? We have to solve the problem at hand. Someone's sales has been decreased drastically. What caused the sale to decrease? Is it the sales behavior? Is it someone who was not attending to the customer? Is it a problem which has to do with advertisement or marketing? And then the trend identification. Now, we have to solve the problem. So at which point did the data drop? At which point did the customer stop coming to the shop? We need to know all this and then make good decisions on that. So let's take real world example. Like I just want to save time, so I use just two e-commerce companies and then health organizations. E-commerce companies, like I mentioned earlier, Flipkart and Amazon, they generate a lot of data. So ask yourself, how do these people make decisions? How do these people make profit out of the data they generate? One, customer will go to the platform to buy an item. There is an algorithm to monitor you, the things you search every day, the things you normally buy. Then based on that, the next time you visit the website or the platform, it will recommend that you have been visiting the site. You might like this. You have been buying groceries. You might like this. You have been buying a lot of clothes. Maybe you will like this. Based on your behavior on the platform and the healthcare, let's assume this COVID era, there was a lot of people dying every now and then. But we have to come to the conclusion that how many people die every day? How do we reduce the number of people who die? How do we separate those who are having that COVID from those who are not having COVID? How do we protect people from getting this dangerous or viral disease? So let's move on to types of data. We have the structured data, which is basically ones and zero or alphabet. It's alphabet or numbers. And then we have unstructured data, which does not have many forms like pictures, like text messages, a lot of data which does not have basic meaning. That are the unstructured. And then we have semi-structured, which is basically the JSON files or the server logs which we get every day, which we log into our systems, we log into our Wi-Fi, what those data that we generate, our email, what they generate. And then data analysis. We have the type of data analysis. We have statistical data analysis. We have statistical data analysis. We have diagnostic data analysis. So if we say diagnostic data analysis, we basically mean the questions about why things happen. And these are techniques or supplements, more basic descriptive analytics. These take findings from descriptive analytics and depend to find the cause of why such thing happen, So the performance indicates are further investigated to discover why they got better or they got worse. This generally occur three types. They have three types of it. We have identify anomalies. If I say identify anomalies, this may be unexpected change in metrics or particular market. Like as I use Amazon, for instance, why are people not patronizing the goods on Amazon nowadays? Is it because the prices has been increased? Is it because the materials they use are no more good as they were? And then the other thing has to do with predictive analysis, which helps answer questions about what will happen in the future if they are likely to occur or they are likely to recur. How do we do to tackle these issues of data, of customers' behavior, of how we have to achieve our main purpose of creating this e-commerce website, or not only e-commerce website, there are a lot of things we do with data, like social media, earlier I mentioned. And then the next thing has to do with prescriptive analysis. If I say prescriptive, what I want to say is that answer questions about what should be done. So we are prescribing what will be happening in the next future, what will be happening in the next 20 years, in the next 50 years. I remember there was one man, a computer scientist called Newman. He said, in 50 years' time, the devices of storage, the size will increase, the size will decrease, but the capacity will increase. When we started with computers, there was big computers. Now, they are very tiny, they are very minute. If you take a flash drive, at first they were very big, but now very tiny. Sometimes you can't even find it. So we are using this prescriptive analysis to define what will happen in the future. So let's go to the method of data analysis. We have the cluster analysis, we have the Kahoot analysis, we have regression analysis, we have data mining, we have test analysis, we have neural network, and then factor analysis. So let's go through them one after the other. So the cluster analysis, the action of grouping a set of data in elements in a way that said elements are more similar in a particular sense. So we want to group people who are dying from COVID and people who are dying from malaria. They are two different diseases. So we are grouping similar data from the other, which are basically in a particular sense. You can't combine people who are having malaria or people who are having HIV together. We have to separate them, which make them cluster, a different set of disease or different set of data. And then the Kahoot analysis. This type of data analysis method uses historical data to examine and compare determined segments of user behavior which can be grouped with others and similar characteristics. By using this data analysis method, it is possible to gain a wealth insight into consumer needs or firm understanding of broader target group. So the Kahoot analysis is really useful to perform analysis in marketing, as it will allow you to understand the impact of campaign or on a specific group of customers. Like customer will have to come to your platform to purchase or to get an item. If the customer can, are you serving the customer the best possible way you can? Is the customer enjoying your service? Which will later either increase the sale or decrease the sale. And as
Sir,
every organization, hello,
sorry to cut you off, sir. I just
okay,
wanted to ask if it's possible for you to switch on your camera, sir.
okay, I should switch on my camera.
Yes, sir. To just make the session more interactive, I would request everyone in the meeting to please switch on their camera.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, so let's proceed. So the next thing or the next agenda is regression analysis. So if we say regression analysis, it uses historical data to understand how a dependent variable value is affected when one linear regression or more independent variables or multiple regression changes or stay the same. If we are dealing with customer sale, we have the dependent variable and then independent variable. The independent variable has to depend on the dependent variable to make inside decisions. So I have to depend on my laptop to present this to the audience. And if there is no laptop, I wouldn't have been able to communicate with people worldwide. So now the laptop becomes a dependent whilst I becomes independent. The laptop becomes independent whilst I become dependent to the laptop. So without the laptop, I can't have that presentation as I'm having now. And in that regression, we have the linear regression, which basically uses two variables, which is the dependent and then the independent variables. But if you talk about multiple regression or logistic regression, there are more than one variable. You can get one dependent and then a lot of or one independent and then a lot of dependent variables to make inside decisions. And then now let's move to the data mining aspect. The data mining aspect is a method in the umbrella term for engineering metrics and insight for additional value, direction, and context. By using explanatory statistical evaluation, the data mining aims to identify dependencies, relationships, and data patterns and trend to generate advanced knowledge. So we have to get the data. How do we manage to get this data? We have to mine them. If you say mining, like getting the data from deep, where we have to use all our resources or maximum resources to get the data we need so that you can make inside decisions about them. So when we are considering to analyze data, adapting a data mining mindset is essential to success. You can't go into the data science or data analysis aspect without data mining mindset. You need to get it. So as such, it is area that is worth exploring in a greater detail. So if you want to go deep into data science, data analysis, business analysis, you need to understand the concept of data mining, which brings in another one, which is data maxing. If you say data maxing, like I'm hiding my data from the impersonate, from those who try to get unauthorized access to my data. So I have to max it. I mean, I have to cover the data for someone not to get direct access. Before the person get the direct access, then it means an insider or I am the one who is giving the person authorized or giving the person access to have a look or to have access to that data. So like, as you can see, we have to mine the data from deep. We have to get the data from people's laptop. We have to get it from people's mobile phones. We have to get it from Facebook or whatsoever. This brings to my notice, Facebook uses something called, I think that was the year 2016. They were looking at how relationship break up and when at the time do they break up. And they came to a conclusion that many relationships break up during a festive season. So if there is a festive season like Valentine's Day, because the guy or the lady is trying to avoid unnecessary spending, then the best thing for the guy is to break up with the lady or the lady to break up with the guy. And one other thing that came into conclusion is that if people stay away from each other, like here in India, the lady will be staying maybe 100 kilometers away from the husband. So during this festive season, they will have to move to the husband. And if they move to the husband or whatever it is, then they find out that, oh, this behavior is not good for me. This behavior the opponent or my spouse or my fiancé is having is not good for my future and for my life. Then what happened? We have to break up. So what do they wanted to achieve? What they wanted to achieve is, so now we have the data, we have analyzed it, we know when and how people break up. So what do we do to help? In this case, we need more lawyers who will fight for people's freedom. We need people like psychologists who will psych those people down, who will tell them this is not the end of the world. You were just in a relationship and now you break up. You will get someone who might even take good care of you than the previous one. So what they wanted to do is get the data, analyze it, and then find a solution to a particular problem. And then there is one other thing. Before Obama became the president, they used a system to conduct. There were many people who were not decided to whom to vote for and to whom not to. So this system helped people to make decisions on whom to select as the president, which eventually gave Obama the upper hand over the other, and he became the president. So now we would like to talk about the benefits of data analysis. So what we want at the end of the day is to make informed decisions, to improve our decisions. If a customer comes in a shop and the person does not buy anything from the shop, the customer does not lose, but you as a shop owner, you lose because if any customer comes to the shop, at least the person should pick one item or buy one item from the shop. And if a customer comes without buying any item, it means you, the owner, is running at a loss. So we have to make informed decision or improve our decision making when it comes to this. And then the next thing has to do with the trend identification. We need to know when and how this world is moving, where people are now shifting their attention. Now everything is being centered. I mean, we call it a global village now. Just sit with your phone, just a blink of an eye, you get everything that you need in a twinkle of an eye. If you need food, you can contact Zomato, Sugi, or whatever. If you need item, you can use Flipkart, Amazon, or whatever. If you want to book an appointment with a doctor, you use your phone, you book an appointment. If you want them to come to your premises, they will come, take care of you, and then leave. So what you have to know is, where is this data analysis or data science going? We need to know the trend of it. And then the most important thing is we have to manage our rates. Now, I'm not going to the shop to buy. I have stayed away from rates. Rates can be 50, either you gain or you lose. So now I'm not taking that rates again. I'm just in my house and they will deliver whatever I want to me. And then the competitive advantage. Now I use data analysis to analyze my data, to analyze my customers. It means I know what to do the next time. I know what product I have to import. I know what product I have to bring to my shop for my customers to buy. I just don't go to the market and buy anything that I want. I get the customer what they need. In this month, what do people need? In the next month, what do people need? I need to get all those things to help me to stay advantageous position over the others. And then we have to increase our profitability. Now, if I have advantage over my competitor, it obviously means I'll get my profit will increase. I don't have to go to lose because I know that in the next month I have to bring this product and I won't bring any just wasted product. I'll bring a product which the customers will like most and they will purchase it, which will give me more advantage over the others. So imagine you are not using data analysis to analyze your market or to analyze your customers' behavior, and I am using. Maybe the next month you just buy any goods. Meanwhile, I'll be buying those which the customers will be needed. Like winter is coming, I have to get winter jacket for my customers, and you will be just buying Lacoste for winter. How many people do you think they will need Lacoste at that time? No one. They will obviously come to my shop to get the winter jacket. And then challenges in data analysis. Everything has the good side and then the bad side. Whatever you do, you have the good side, you have the bad side. The main problem with data analysis is the data privacy. Who is monitoring the data we generate? Who is getting access to it? Is it vulnerable in the air? Everyone can just get access to the data. How is this data being protected from malicious use, from people who don't have access to them? And this issue can cause a lot of breaches between the customer and then the owner. Now I have given you my data. Indirectly, I gave you the data. You use it, you get what you want. So after that, who is protecting my data? It's a big question, and we need to take care of it. And then the data quality and then the data integrity. If we talk about the integrity, is the data not going to be compromised? Is the data not going to be edited? How sure are you the data you are giving out is not going to be used for any other thing? How sure are you that the data you're going to be giving out is not going to be edited in any form which has been shifted from its main purpose to a different purpose? I gave out the data for people to get insight, which was indirect, though I have given. But how is my data being protected? And how is the data not being compromised? And then managing large data sets. Now I said earlier, Facebook generates a lot of data, a lot of data. Or if you go to Kaggle right now, you get a lot of data. Where do these people get the data? And how is those large data sets is being managed? I just download the data for my project. So how is this data and how am I getting it? Am I not going to compromise the data? And after that, who is taking care of the data? So this is all that I have for the day. Thank you very much for paying attention to me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, sir. On behalf of the organizing committee, I'd like to express my hearty vote of thanks to our excellent speaker, Mr. Emmanuel Adu. Today, we got the opportunity to listen to an interesting and thought provoking discussion on data analytics, and we will now take up any relevant questions that the audience might have.
Anyone with a question, you can please ask.
Okay, sir. So, I also had a question. I have recently delved into this field of data analytics. I would say I have just started. So
Okay.
what will your advice be for someone like me who has just like started delving into it?
Can you repeat your question?
I said that I have just started data analytics, just started learning this. So can you give me some advice that what will be a good path for me?
Okay. Thank you very much for your question. For data analysis today, it all has to do with how practical you take it. This is a practical course. This is not a theoretical course. You can't focus most on reading books. Once you read the books, make sure you practice them. If you practice, you get the knowledge more than you read, and it becomes something like a fingertips to you. Whenever you take any data, you can work on it without any fear or without any panic being on you. So what our advice is, maybe you get videos or you get books which are practical, not theoretical. Most of the times will be explained, but if they explain them to you, you can't use them at the job market or at a firm. You need to practice them constantly.
Is like the programming languages like Java and all, are they necessary for data analytics?
Yes, programming languages are very necessary for data analysis. There are two major programming language for data analysis and then data science, which is the Python and then the R language. Which personally I choose Python. And Python will give you, not all that easy, but as compared to the other programming language, Python will make things easier and faster for you. So you need Python, you need Erlang. Though Java can equally be used for data analysis and data science, but preferably Python is ahead of any.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for answering that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. And thank you to everyone in the attentive audience for the smart questions. This event is considerably more meaningful because of your participation. All good things eventually come to an end, and I consider everyone as fortunate that they became a part of this workshop, which was full of knowledge, which makes it difficult to say goodbye.